This is Crystal, and I'm back for part 25 of the Human Journal. This journal, I'm going to talk about the human level of consciousness. And it's another perspective that I've got in the human experience, but I call it the human level of consciousness, or I could just call it the human level. And earlier today, I had a zeal within me that a lot of it is my feelings. A lot of it. The feeling I have is that I love the feeling of changing everything around, a lot of ideas around our society. A lot. And I guess it's just a zeal. I'm so, it's just that I'm so pumped up, and something I believe deep down my heart. And I talked to my friend of mine about this, and sometimes I have this moment to myself, and I'm going to share this with everybody. If you're offended, well, I don't know what to say, but I'm not trying to offend anybody. Sometimes I tell my friend of mine that deep down in my heart, I share some stuff that's it just pinpoint right through a lot of ideas, a lot of BS ideas that a lot of us hold up. For example, which example I'm going to pick here? Politics. Yeah, politics. I was telling my friend of mine early that, a lot of people, I'm not saying everybody, but a lot of people, they seem to fall for this all the time. It's so twisted. But I feel that when I share something, an idea to inspire to be more freeing, or at least to be aware through and through, the whole, it's just that a lot of people they don't really see that. And I have those feelings sometimes, but, even though I feel that way, it doesn't stop me from, to continue doing what I'm doing. I do envision about people involved in a spiritual vision. I see people evolve, and I can't give up. I mean, I could give up. I know it's an option. I could do something else. I don't have to inspire. I could do whatever. It's just that it's my heart. I want to inspire people, but I see so many different ideas. It's like I don't know how to put it. It's like you're in a mountain, and you see all these ideas that we built. We all created these ideas, right? Politics. You got from politics. You got from starvation, or let's say connected to poverty. You got religion. You got people being divided by either through skin color or other traditional based ideas and just stuff. People seeing people in Hollywood better than them, and then it's a whole media fiasco about hating people in Hollywood, and investing all your energy into that, and then the media, it feeds it back at you, right? They'll talk about so-and-so in Hollywood, so-and-so that's famous, because it knows that you hate that person, and it feeds it back at you. And I see all those things. I'm like, all these things, I see that this is the human level. That's what it is. This is the human level of consciousness. And, you got, and I look back from other movies, I watch, I can't recall a movie, but there was a movie, let me just this is a good example, it just hit me. I was talking to my friend of mine about, Star Trek. the old school Star Trek with Captain Kirk, there was an episode, right, of, there's one, I forgot the name of this episode, but Khan, all right? He had this character named Khan, right? But he was like a superhuman, right? I'm just going to use it as a quick example. He was a superhuman, yet he's the character is very egotistic. You know, it's very egotistic. It wanted to rule, conquer, you know. But he has super strength. And I've seen these patterns. I'm just going to use this episode for example. I've seen patterns like this from different movies. And I don't know if you listen to what I'm saying. I don't know if you could connect what I'm about to say. But the thing with the human level of consciousness, or let's just say the human level, when you put the idea of superhuman, right? You see, so many of us gravitate to the feeling of, oh my gosh, that can't be. If this people have super strength, oh my God, it's gonna be chaos. Or another thing will come up. Or it's just not, you know, it's not meant to us to evolve or to expand or whatever, right? So you've got those ideas, right? So whenever there's an idea again that suggests or talks about any type of superhuman idea, it's a bad thing. For the human level, it's a bad thing. And a lot of us, for so long, I observed, so many of us, we take pride. We take pride in being so puny. We do. We absolutely do. And, you know, I talk about this in my other chapters, that there's many layers or many levels of consciousness, okay? The human level is just a level within consciousness, okay? Regardless of the ideas that a lot of people create that's very twisted, but it's all for an experience sake. You see, beneath that, you see, in your spirit, you want to experience blissful. You see, me and my friend Juan was talking about the human level needs consciousness, and I'm talking about the level of consciousness, the level of love, bliss, the level of consciousness that represents limitless. There's no limits, you know. But you see, consciousness breaks itself down, and this might sound strange to you, but consciousness breaks itself down to different levels, because consciousness is about, like I was telling you, it's about experience, because consciousness is life. This is a little bit more, for those that's religion and have some maybe an outside God with a white beard, this might be a little bit complex in terms of like the stuff that I'm sharing. Like, it might sound kind of like out there, but I want to talk about consciousness as a whole as much as possible in this chapter. But, you know, regardless, like it or not, you know, whether you identify yourself so prideful, you know, that you take it with so much pride that you're human only, your consciousness, okay? Okay, you could identify yourself as a conservative, liberal, communist. You could identify yourself as pro-Christian, a Muslim, whatever you want to identify yourself. Beneath these ideas that we put together, okay, your consciousness. And me and my friend was talking about that. The human level, it needs love. It needs to experience that. I was talking a little bit about my previous chapter 23 about, you know, on divine love. The human level needs that. It needs to experience it. It needs to feel it. It needs to know. And it's like, in order, and this is what I see spiritually. Okay, this is what I envision. The human level connects with consciousness from within. Nothing outside, everybody. And there's no outside. Everything starts from inside of you. And, you know, all the stuff that I see that, you know, like people, they take so much pride into chaos. You know, it's like, and I sometimes I ask myself, you know, I question these things. I'm like, I feel like, can people see past these things, this so-called life around this earth, this problem thing, or whatever, or you feeling like you're a loser, you feel like you don't have enough money, you feel like you don't have a girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever, or you don't have a job or whatever. It's like I know that people could get past these things, okay? Because regardless in this human level, I call it, is that everybody's consciousness. And I feel that once people let go, see, when you let go, everyone, you're not really losing anything. You're gaining something, okay? And regardless how hard-headed you are, okay, I see you change. Sometimes I have my feelings because, you see, I use myself as an illustration within the human experience because I decided to be in this experience. Sometimes my own mind would try to challenge me. Okay, I would come across with feelings like, just give up, you know, and I'm like, I'm not. And it's like, I observe all these things, you know. Sometimes I told my friend that it's like things like this, for example. Like, I envision myself closing down every damn police station. I do. And, you know, and I was telling her, like, you know, one of the things that keeps people divided is government. But I'm going to keep conveying that to people. I'm going to keep telling that to people. I don't care if no one doesn't take me seriously. And sometimes my own head will tell me, like, no one's going to take you seriously. So why do you keep doing it? Because I keep doing it because I am consciousness. You see, I see myself, okay, because we're all consciousness. I see myself evolve because that's what I is. I see myself evolve right now. And yeah, I look at there's so much stuff that's so twisted. It's so twisted. I know that all this is experience. I know that. I know. There's so many people hold up to live an underdog story. So many. And I ask myself this question. I say this to myself. Nobody has to live like that. But so many people, you see, they hold on to this story, this sucky story that they amount to nothing. And it's so, and not everybody, but a lot of people gravitate or they piggyback off of somebody else that's supposedly successful because they see themselves as nothing in a very negative way. And I'm like, all that. I'm like, wow, all these are belief systems. And within the human level, it will justify that all these things is just the way it is. It will justify it. But when you convey an idea to break free from ideas, all these limiting ideas that we created, it's afraid. It's literally afraid. And that's why I call it in my earlier chapters and all my stuff. That's why I say it's the ego mind. People feel like they gotta be somewhere else as a whole, collectively, in order to change. I'm like, no, you don't. You don't gotta be here, for example, entirely to change. It's like people, it's like, The idea of over there is here. It's a different perspective that I'm sharing here. It's like everything, all the change, or you evolve, starts from you. It starts from you. People sit there and laugh. Like, oh my God, what is this guy talking about? Because the person's afraid. You are afraid to leave behind, to let go of a pitiful story that you put together for yourself. You are afraid by choice, but it's an experience. I did say it so many times that the human experience is a transitional state. Transitional state. Things change all the time. I do sometimes I go online and I see this stuff on the internet. I'm like, it inspires me. It inspires me to do the opposite. You see, when I see the garbage about politics and, let's say, the focus on just the garbage that you see on the internet, you see, what I do is, most of the time, is that my focus is that I flip it. I change it around. I'm inspired to do the opposite. To do the opposite. What? Ideas, this garbage, these ideas that we created, to me is garbage. But it's an experience. Like I said, everything in life is an experience. But certain things, certain ideas that come with things that's not going to really uplift me, right? So when I see the garbage on the internet, I just go about things the opposite. You see, I look at myself and I do this. This is what I do. I do it. Everybody else does it. This is what I believe. I'm not anybody better than you. And I say that a lot on my clips. So when I envision people evolve, people are literally sound spiritually. I'm talking about like solid. You understand? You able to control your ego. You are power. You do all these things. Yet, you see, it's a different story than what we see on the movies. You might, and me and my friend would talk about this. Me and my friend would talk about this. The human, when humans evolve, it's obviously not going to be called humans, but what I describe it, I call it the knowing. People will become the knowing. Knowing what that means to me is that you are fully aware of all of life. Do you understand? You just know. Pretty much you won't even need a textbook to connect everything you need to know about life. I could describe people being as a superhuman, as kind of like a resemble, but the difference is that you're not going to go about it in an egotistic way. I mean, you can, but what I envision is that people are on a different level in consciousness, okay? In consciousness. Is that you are naturally going to know that you don't really need to do anything to conquer somebody. When you try to conquer somebody, you're going to know that by you going to dominate or try to conquer somebody, you're going to know that by going about things such as that, you will know that these ideas suggest that you are weak. You don't need to conquer anybody or anything. You are power. You have the ability to create, and because we're all creators. People are going to drop a lot of ideas. I look at, and I was telling my friend of mine, it's like, a lot of people, I know everything again and again. I know this is all an experience. It's like, so many people create limits. Like, I say things like this. I share on my clips or on Twitter or wherever. I say, like money. Like, why do we limit money? For those that like money. Why do we limit money? Why that a lot of people create laws, right? These stupid laws that suggest that there's a limit to money. We create laws that you can't counterfeit money, right? So we create this game that, basically that, oh no, we can't do that. But wait a minute, you created it. What do you mean you can't go about and change it from the ground up? Like, a lot of people believe that they can't remove or change the whole money system, right? But that's the human level. You see, you feel like you created these laws. You know that, right, everyone? You created all that. I created that, right? But I go back with myself and I ask myself, like, why people can't just change things off from the ground up? That's sometimes I feel that way. And it just goes back. The human level is only designed. It's only set at certain things. You see, let me make this more clearer. Nobody doesn't have to be in poverty. Okay, if you follow me carefully. Nobody doesn't have to be poverty. You see, a lot of us, we do these things by choice. We live in a certain lifestyle by choice. We play the game that somebody's able to dictate us, and that's the reason why a lot of people, for example, are on poverty, right? So we don't have to live like that. We don't have to put a salary cap on our lives. We don't, but we do it as, right? We don't have to, you see, we created laws, right, that tells you that you can't counterfeit money and you can't do these things, right? But we created that. So you created that, you could create something different, meaning that you could remove these laws or you could remove and change the whole system from the ground up. A lot of people could do that. We all could do that. But the thing is, we decide not to because it's a game. You play this game. This is all an experience, And it's like, I look at all this, I'm like, wow, like, people getting something out of it. You're getting something out of it for the time being. But you see, for the human level is, it wants to do something different, but it wants to connect. How are we going to do it? How can we do this? How can we, even though we created this stuff, these limited ideas, how can we go about these things, right? Changing everything, radically change everything. Everything that you was brought up, from upbringing, from school, how are we going to change all this stuff radically? How can we feel safe? And that's the thing. Humanity wants to feel safe. So a lot of people, a good number of people are afraid to radically change something because you, by choice, are afraid that something terrible is going to happen. But we set that up too. See, the human level does that. It does. It's all the stuff, again, is an experience. You come up with, it's like, I was telling my friend of mine the other day that humanity is a professional, collectively, in creating, when it comes to creating excuses. Excellent in creating excuses. You will come up, you will rely on your logical mind, right, to justify that how doing something that's unconventionally different, how it's going to work. You're going to go by your own facts, right? The very theories that you hold up, that the reason why you put yourself in captivity. You put yourself in captivity with belief systems, right? So you're going to basically laugh at somebody, right? Someone like myself, right? that will talk about something that's something that's more broader, something that's more free, something that's different. But see, a lot of you will hold up with you will rely on your logical mind and say, no, it's not going to work. Look at all these people. What are we going to do with all this? What's going to happen to this? What's going to happen to there? Oh no, it'll be chaos. We can't have that. So we do that. Then we allow other people to try to control the population in terms of classism. Like I told you in my other clips, we created this other game, poor, middle class, wealthy. We create that. Then religion, we create that. You create another idea to keep yourself in captivity. So you feel like you're not worthy of anything. So this is when the human level will think, okay, will create this illusion, idea that, for example, that there's something outside, okay, something outside to try to save it. But the thing is, this is going to be a little difficult to explain here, and I hope that you follow me. We see consciousness, okay? See, consciousness, and I'm talking about that level, that love, joy, that's limitless, right? It's within that human level, okay? You see, everything starts from within, the change. You understand? The connection. It's inside. So many people, for example, that rely on religion, for so long, you think that there's something outside of you. This is why a lot of people feel like they're nothing. This is why when you hold up to this idea that you are amount to nothing, you are just this puny being that maybe somebody or something is going to save you. Yet, you created that experience, and like I was telling you, that consciousness is within you. Everything starts within you. I just feel like I just need to break it down. I just need to express this. But I have so much zeal that I'm playing my role to pick up these ideas. I'm going to call it like this, these human ideas. You see, I pick up these ideas, either I just transform it into something else. You understand? I transform it into something else. Because I could do that. I'm consciousness, just like everybody. I know you ask, well, what we're going to do? How we're going to change things radically? As all my chapters so far, everything that I've been expressing, you have to let go of the ideas that is, and you know in your heart, the ideas that the idea is holding you back. But you created this idea, everybody. That idea. This idea, for example, poverty. I'm going to pick on this idea, for example. You created that. It's not something powerful in you, but you created that. Okay, in spirit, you created that. But then you're going to attach it to fact. You're going to pick on the idea like, well, what I'm going to do? Look where I'm at, and you create the government, right? And then you think that the government is supposed to save you, right? But then you complain about it, but the very idea of government itself, actually, it's a mechanism that supports this thing of poverty. But it all reverts to you. It all does. You have to, it's like this. You have to trust consciousness within you, everyone. You have to make a stand to yourself that you are consciousness. You have the ability to change things radically, You have the ability to change things radically. That's it. You created limits, Okay, you create limits, you can create the opposite. You have to trust within you. Please meditate. Go somewhere, wherever you want to go. If you want to go somewhere quiet, wherever. Use your imagination. Visualize. Do these basic things. Don't underestimate this. Okay? Don't get all tripped up that what I'm telling you is some new age stuff. No, it's not. Just drop that idea too. Because see, while you knocking down something that I am, let's say for example, someone like myself is trying to inspire you to basically, for you to put yourself at a different level, you're only putting yourself back. So let go of the ignorant comment or thoughts you have, whatever. Meditate. Okay? Meditate from within. Pick up these ideas from within. Change it up. Okay? You are fearless. You create limits. Any idea represents limits. Okay? You create the idea that somebody's powerful than you. Nobody is powerful than you. You created that too. There's nobody outside of you is powerful than you. Change your focus too. That's the thing. The human level connects from within consciousness. The level of consciousness. That is love, joy, bliss. And again, limitless. Consciousness is unlimited. And again, the human level, it wants to connect with that. It's just that a lot of people don't know how. And I'm here to tell you how to do it. Meditate, imagine, feel it. Drop those ideas that, again, your heart is not helping you. You gotta really look at this from a different angle. Really step outside and just look at yourself. Okay? There's a level within you that's doing its thing. But it is you. You gotta go within in consciousness. Okay? That's the source of life. That's you. You have to shift to there from within. All right? I have to emphasize. This is not going out to somewhere, I don't know, explain it like heaven, whatever. Everything starts from you, your spirit, your core. You are source of life. This is beyond the flesh. Take hold of these ideas that you are not deserving. You have to really make a choice and shift from within consciousness, that you are powered to create things drastically. I look at this world, I'm like, all that stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I get caught in my moments, but overall what keeps me going is what I envision of everybody. I do. This is what I envision for everybody. That's why I feel like I don't want to give up. I mean, I could give up, but I'm not going to give up. I know we don't like certain people, right? You don't like certain people. Your mind would produce so many negative scenario situations, and you ride with it. I experienced that myself about people. I have to look at myself as an illustration of how the mind works, of how the human mind works. So what I do is that I focus, I meditate, I focus, do things the opposite, what the mind suggests. So I don't like somebody. Is the person powerful than me that I don't like? No. Nobody is powerful than me. Someone I don't like, for example, they're not powerful than me. I don't care who they are. It's that I give them power, for example, when I change my focus and feel a certain way, or I feel low of myself. That's when I'm giving my power away to somebody. That's an example now. But, yeah, it's let go. When you let go, you're not losing anything. You're gaining. See, the human level only feels and only relies on the physical, for example. It is based on mental and physical, like I was saying in all my chapters. But you see, when you try to convey the idea that let go, it's thinking that, oh, I'm going to lose everything. I don't want to sacrifice. It's not about sacrificing. You see, this concept of letting go is that you are giving yourself. You are gaining. Do you understand? You are gaining. You're not losing nothing. So if you let go of this idea of poverty, right? And you let go of the idea that I'm just a poor or a middle class person, or I'm not wealthy, right? Or or this idea of government or religion, or you work in this rat race job and you feel like you're stuck, or whatever goes on that you're not feeling good about yourself. Let go of those ideas, and what you get in return is something more. It's something meaningful. It's something that you will gain ideas that suggest that there's no limit to nothing, because that's what real life is. So if you were to say that I live in illusion, no, my friends, I'm no longer living illusion. This structural life that we put together is an illusion. That's just how I feel about it. Maybe I'll come up with a different perspective, whatever. But I feel that deep down inside, I'm gaining more and more insights about life, about going about things differently, being aware of who I am and what I could do, being aware of my power. I am power. A lot of us are capable of breaking free from these traditional ideas that doesn't do nothing. It will keep you the same paradigm. You understand? It's going to keep you with that experience. Well, I want to say this, like I was saying in my previous chapter. Consciousness is about movement. Don't be fooled that you feel like you're going to be this way forever. You're not. You're really not. Everybody changes. I know I want to touch on this. I know sometimes we don't want to be around certain people, right? We feel a certain way. Well, I could relate to that. My thing is that wish the person well, okay? That person's consciousness like you. Wish the person well and, hey, shift that person to a different reality or shift yourself into a different reality. There are endless amount of realities within consciousness, everyone. You're not trapped. Human level creates its own hell. All that's just for experience. You create your own hell, and then you go with the story that I'm trapped. I don't know what to do with my life. Right? And then you're feeling divided. You're divided with yourself with these political ideas. And I look at this for so long, I'm like, why a lot of people keep falling for these things? I'm telling you my moments, okay, everyone? Even though I told you that I'm aware, sometimes I do question these things. I have different moments now, okay? But I have to bring myself back. I'm like, look, people are in a certain situation right now, but I have to remind myself, look, I have to say who I am, and I have to remind myself about what I envision. I have to not judge myself, meaning not get frustrated with myself. But yeah, I have my feelings, but I have a zeal. The zeal within me. I like to go. I want to put myself out there more and more and pick up these human ideas, these traditions and these values and these whatever, these so-called moral beliefs. These moral beliefs is so limiting. These moral beliefs is nothing but, like, it's full of it. I mean, I tell people like this, you be whatever you want to be. If you want to be tied down with moral beliefs, go ahead. But at least be aware that you could be whoever you want to be. And the only one to judge you and the only one to condemn you is yourself. I know, to the mind, letting go of something that you hold on for so long, it frightens you. It's a habit. The mind, the human mind, because we recondition it at a certain time, a certain way, it is afraid of change. It is not only afraid, but it's lazy. The human mind is lazy. So if you say something that's outside the grid, it frightens the mind. I know that. It's funny. It's like somebody's keeping themselves captive, right? And you will provide a door to exit, right? But then you'll justify yourself at the same time. You will justify yourself to keep yourself captive. It's strange. You don't want to be held captive. You complain about it, right? But when there's a door that's provided to you, right? Right? You provide yourself the door, but then you would justify yourself at the same time that, no, I can't go through that door. It doesn't make no sense to go through that door. It don't make no sense to let go of the ideas that's been passed on to me, that I have to live a certain way because it's just the way of being human. A lot of people take pride into that. Oh no, we're just human. But if you want to do that to yourself, go ahead. If you identify yourself as just being human, go ahead. I will continue to inspire people that you're more than human. Interesting. I know I'm going to repeat this. We complain about a situation, but there's a door that's right there. It's right there. All you got to do is walk through the door. Yet the mind will justify itself to keep itself captive. Don't you find that interesting, everyone? Very twisted. There's answers for everything. There's solutions for everything. It's about whether, it's about whether if you're going to keep your mind in check, or you're going to control your mind, or you're going to tell your mind, no, I am going to do this. And I don't care if this doesn't make no sense to everybody else and even to my own head. I'm going to shift into this experience or something that's going to be more freeing, something that's going to suggest limitless, something that's going to suggest blissfulness. I'm going to experience these things. I want to feel joy. So you're going to say to yourself, I am joy. And then you're going to say to yourself, I am bliss. Right? That's what you're going to say. You're going to do things that doesn't feel right to your head, but you're going to go with your heart. You're going to go with your heart because you know beneath that human level, you know there's so many wonderful things about life. You know that. You know that. We gravitate, again, we focus on things on the internet, for example, of the ideas that it changes your feelings. You don't feel good about yourself, right? And then you're too busy hating on somebody that's a celebrity, right? But then you created this idea of itself, right? And the media, like I was telling you in the beginning of the clip, the media is going to spit back at you that you don't like, right? You constantly see this person's face that you don't like, and it's a celebrity, for example. And you sit there being all day. Excuse me, you sit there bitch all day. Excuse my language, but I'm going to say it straight up. So you're going to sit there and bitch about somebody that you don't like, right? But then you still see that person's face. Because that's the world you created. You create that world. You can either deal with it, or you could go in, okay? That means within yourself, and you're going to change it. You understand? You're going to change it. And you know how you're going to change it? Is that you're going to acknowledge that you are valued. You're going to acknowledge that you are a being, that you are so special, that you are so loving, that you deserve every wonderful, great thing in life, and that there's no limit to that. You're going to sit there and relax. The flood, that you're going to be flooded with so many beautiful things in life. And it's just the flow. It just keeps coming to you, and it keeps coming to you, and it keeps coming to you. That's the flow. That's the flow of consciousness. That is who you are. You understand? The consciousness within you, that flow, it doesn't end. It constantly runs. It just runs. That's it. And you just know how. You connect to that, and you're going to hold on to it because the consciousness within you, because you want that. And you're going to change your focus. You're not going to hate on this person that you see on the internet every day. You're going to love yourself. You're going to know how important and how worthy you are. And you're going to hold on to that. Okay? It's going to come to you. The blissfulness, that flow of blissfulness is going to constantly come to you. It would never end. And that's the beauty thing about life. So the human level wants to connect with that. The question is, how? But then you have to get by the twisted thing about this, meaning that the door's provided, but then you're going to justify yourself to say, no, it doesn't make no sense. That's when you're going to have to bypass that feeling, that thing in your head, that, oh no, it doesn't make no sense. You're going to have to make a decision from within to bypass that and go right to that door and open it. You provide yourself the door. Bypass this feeling, this thought in your head that it doesn't make no sense. This goes against what I've been brought up. This goes against my religious faith. Right? Stop giving yourself excuses that you don't deserve nothing. You deserve everything. Claim it. It's yours. It's right there. All you got to do is walk through the door. Drop your old story, these traditions, these things that doesn't mean anything to you. Make a decision now, not tomorrow, not one day, right now. And that's how I feel. That's the feeling I have inside, everyone. You see the zeal I have? That's how I feel. And that's where I see myself right now, communicating to 7.3 billion people. You may laugh at me, you may think I'm crazy, but I'll tell you the truth. Beneath your laughter and you think I'm crazy, your consciousness. And you do click what I'm saying. I don't got to do anything to prove anything to anybody. I don't got to prove nothing to nobody. I just express myself freely, and that's it. I could say I plant the seed. But like I said, your consciousness. Beneath the human level, that structural mind of yours, that ego mind, beneath all that, your consciousness. And you connect what I'm saying. So you can sit there and laugh if you want. But if you understand now, great, thank you. I'm glad. But I don't got to prove a damn thing to anybody. I'm going to express as it is. I have hope. I know who we are. I do. I do. I see myself as playing my role and witness people evolve. Oh, it's exciting. Oh yeah. It is exciting. Just to feel it, to envision it, to feel it. To see people drop these old ideas that we feel for so long that it's impossible. And you know what? You just gone within and you made the change. You made the change from within, and let's just say you want to talk about the outside, everything happens on the outside. You see, when you change from within, that's when you change, the outside changes automatically. You just shifted into another world, or you could just say you could just create another world, wherever. But you just shifted. You just reconnect the consciousness from within. So if you want to talk about an idea of a savior, you save yourself. You save yourself. You want to take pride in this idea, this character named Jesus? Well, you are your own Jesus. Let's just put it that way, everyone. Step up, everyone. Take the responsibility that you create limits and you could create the opposite. You could align yourself to the opposite. Bypass the idea in your head that it doesn't make no sense, that if I let go of ideas, that the very idea that you complain about, but that you're afraid to let it go. Let go of that and walk through the door. Take the responsibility. Take charge. Let go. When you let go, you gain more. You never lose anything. Your consciousness, you never lose nothing. You gain more. So drop this idea of sacrifice. You're not sacrificing nothing. You're gaining more. Just wanted to, glad I expressed this. I have to give a breakdown about consciousness, my take on consciousness, and about the human level. The ideas that we create our own hell, and we act like we're stuck. We're never stuck. You think you're stuck. That's the problem, your mind. But the mind is not powerful. You're never stuck. You're never stuck. You are never stuck. Just make a decision. Take charge. Shift. Meditate. Go somewhere. Meditate. You got to flood yourself with all the blessings and all the great things to yourself. You just got to know it. You got to know it, everyone. Everything starts from within you. Okay? All the things that you see around this world and all that, right? All of that, you see, all that stuff came from within you. That's what I was saying. Do the opposite. Everything starts from you. Everything starts from you. That's all I have to say in this. And I'm glad I did it. You know, like I say, all of my clips, take it in, meditate, do the basics. Imagine. Sit there and imagine. Flood yourself with all the great things of your life. You deserve it. You really do. You absolutely deserve it. Okay, everyone. I will be back for chapter 26. Take care.